Nothing left to say, nothing you could do.
Hello everyone, it's yet again another exciting episode of Girls Gossip Center. So today we are going to be talking about who foots the bill, because there's this back and forth that has been going on if it's the guy or the girl that's supposed to foot the bill when they come. So stay tuned and watch out. We have our guest in our midst today who is going to be taking us through the topic on who foots the bill. On my left hand side we have Maria, and on my right we have Nnamdi.
Hi guys.
Okay, so we're going to go straight to the questions. For the guy, my first question for you is, have you ever been in a position to foot the entire bill, especially for a first date?
Oh, yes, of course. Society demands it. I understand. We're in Africa. But yes, I've been in a position where I've had to foot the bill.
Okay.
And not just once.
Okay.
9 out of 10 times.
Wow. Ndogu. So, secondly, how would you handle a situation where you have scheduled a date, the girl arrives, but unfortunately you don't have enough money to foot the bills?
So the key here is honesty, right? You don't have enough money. Let's say initially you wanted to take her to a Hilton-esque kind of restaurant, right? And you don't have enough money. It's supposed to cost you 50,000 and then you're coming short and you have 30,000. Can you find a place for 30,000? Find a place where that's your budget. And then also inform your date. Say, oh, madam, I have 30,000 as against 50,000. We have to find somewhere or do something even fun. There's a place for everybody. Now, if you're being straight up and honest, it also behoves on the woman to appreciate you for being honest. If she doesn't like it, my brother, my sister, pocket your 30K. You understand? Pocket your money and move on.
Yeah.
Right? But you've done yourself a great service by being honest. So that's it.
Okay, so my third question to you is, do you feel obligated as a man to pay the bills for a date? If yes, why? If not, then why not?
Obligation. We live in a society, we grew up in a society, in a community where it is obligated for the man to pick up that responsibility. Pick up the bills, pay. You've seen your father's pay NEPA bill, pay school fees. Even when the money is coming from your mom, you must have given it to her to pay those things, right?
Yeah.
So we grew up seeing these things, and everybody around us feels, well, in the situation where I'm not, I'll go sit down for my house. And if it's a girl that understands, I'll be like, oh, there's no money, come to the house, I'll make you something to eat. We'll watch Netflix and we'll chill, right? But if she knows you understand, oh, I don't have the money to take you somewhere very fancy, or I have just 5K. 5K can buy us fish in one garden, right? You'll just go there, buy fish, eat, listen to music, and go back. You understand? And if she decides and says, oh, okay, you know what, I got you. Let's do this, maybe you pay me back later. If she says pay me back later, make sure you pay her back. That doesn't mean you should live off a woman. Be responsible. Always pay your bills.
Yeah.
Do you know? Then the old woman.
And not the woman. Thank you. So over to you, Maria. So the first question goes this way. Is there anything wrong with the lady footing the bills on the first date?
No. I think in a lot of ways, there's this mentality that women feel like, I have to be taken care of, I have to be this, I have to, like, all of it is me, selfish, me. What about the other guy? I know, like, a lot of times the excuse is like, it's a first date, agreed. But then, like he said, sometimes situations happen and then we've planned something like a long time ago and then it doesn't work out the way we planned. Why don't you just help? Like, it's nothing. And then it's like you're planning not to carry your vex money. Like, I don't understand. Are you planning to go on a date without your vex money? You want to go collect person? And people do that in a lot and it's very annoying. Like, you go to a date with someone for the first time. Why are you ordering more than your stomach? Why don't you order what you can afford? Why are you trying to you're going to eat calamari? You know calamari is like so in that kind of situation, I feel like there's nothing wrong. And in other cases, there are dates that women invite men out. So in that kind of situation, would you say the man should pay? I'm the one that invited you out. Why can't I do the same thing a man would do if he invites me out, right? Like you said, you can also suggest to go houses. The economy is crazy right now. If you want to go and see a movie, I want to see a movie is 10K. Why? I would tell you to pay 5. I can say that, but if I can't afford it, I can tell you can do something less expensive. It takes nothing out from the date. You're trying to know somebody. And if you're trying to know somebody and you're basing your knowing somebody off of how much he can spend on the first date, that's a problem. That's like a big ass problem.
Go girl. So okay, over to the second question. Why do some ladies place expensive orders on the first date, not minding the man's financial capability?
Hey, see, I don't know. I don't know.
There's hunger. There's hunger. There's hunger in the land.
No.
You understand? When you've not eaten since morning and the guy or that invites you out, like, it's an opportunity to chop.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But then again, I also think, sorry to have
No,
to butt in. Then again, there was something you said. There's this entitlement mentality with many Nigerian people, be it male or female.
Yeah.
It's more very pronounced in a male-female relationship where because we all have this entitlement mentality.
And I just want to raise this is that your experience is unique, right? And I see you as somebody, like from the conversation and the way you spoke, you sound like someone who has gotten over their whole faith. Let me say like that. Because at the end of the day, if we're having this conversation with a different set of people, I feel like it will be a different set of answers we'll be having right now. Because you literally, forgive me, agreed with us.
Yeah, I have to agree with you totally. Like, I still feel there needs to be a mind shift with the average Nigerian woman. I still feel there has to be a mind shift, like a complete mind shift.
Yeah.
The entitlement alone, it's crazy. And many Nigerian men are depressed, are broke, because there's this pressure, not just to live up, but to because of the obligations and responsibilities. I saw something on Instagram one day, a young woman, a babe, and she went on a date and the entire table was filled with food. And there were just two of them, she and the guy. I'm like, I know guys.
We know they chop
We
that
need to
much.
chop. On our own, we will just come out like this and chop that much. Like, why? Like you said it, you can't order more than your pocket. Money is hard. And I'm not saying it's every girl out there. There are a lot of chicks I have seen who go out on their own and have mad fun, spend money on themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, do you understand? But they are few, they're not plenty.
Shout out to you guys.
We need to appreciate Nigerian men.
Yes. No, truly.
We are a dying
No,
breed.
you guys.
Indeed. Nigerian men are chivalrous. Yeah.
The third question. Why do you not feel obligated to pay the bills on the first date, considering you desperately want the relationship as much as the man does?
Wait, so is that for me or like generally?
You.
I have paid on the first date. I don't believe so. A lot of times we say there's no gender rules. There are gender rules, but there are, in some cases, gender rules can be interchanged, right? I believe that if, like you said, if I'm pursuing a relationship with somebody, I should be able to do what I expect the person to do for me. I should not just assume the person would always do for me. I should be able to also do for the person. When you find yourself not being able to do, then maybe you're not ready to be in a partnership or in a relationship. And if something as trivial as who pays on the first date is already a question, just turn the other side and be going. Pretty much that's it.
Okay, so lastly, after ordering the chicken, wine, etc., and you're made to balance up the bills because the man didn't have enough money on him, would you negatively affect the way you feel about the man?
I don't think it, personally, I don't think it will. Because at the end of the day, I just want to say this out there, money does not define the person. There might be a lot more about the person that would make sense. But if I'm already judging the person on whether he can pay an extra 10,000 or he couldn't cover an extra 10,000, then I'm not really looking at the person as this is a person I want to care about. I'm looking at for someone to foot my bills. And if I'm old enough to foot my bills, well, am I depending on somebody to do that, right? So I think at the end of the day, it shouldn't negatively affect how I see the person. Other things should be of matter, like is he smart? Is he emotionally capable? Is he mentally stable? That should be more of the
Mental stability, very good.
bruh, they deal with us. But like for me, those are the things I would look out for as opposed to can he pay the bills. What is like I used to have a conversation with my friend and she would say, oh, I need a man who can provide. And then I'll ask her, what is provision? One side of it is that you bring money, you have food in the house for yourself. Another side is him being present in the relationship. A lot of people would rather you provide the money and not be present. And what your absence can do to a relationship is devastating if you think about it. It's like I need you, I have a certain status I want to maintain, and if you're coming into my life, see, your status can be maintained, but if somebody is fucking with your mind, everybody will see it.
True.
You will look ugly. So would you rather prefer to look at peace and calm than for somebody who can at that moment not be able to pay $10? Priorities, people, balance it out.
Okay. So now, did you have any other additional thing to say concerning this who foot the bills issue?
Mental health is very important. There are many young men today who are committing suicide. There are many men today who have come off the rails because the pressure is just too much. The pressure is massive. It's not coming from family, it's coming from whoever you're in a relationship with, it's coming from your peers.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Just, most importantly, because if you're not mentally stable, you cannot be in a healthy relationship.
Okay, so over to you, Maria.
Yeah, I don't have much to say, but I think as women, we should do better. Like, I think in this generation, we are more smarter, we're more focused, we're more like intentional about ourselves. And in that means that we should also be considerate of the next person and have empathy. There are men who are outrightly stupid, I'm sorry to use that word, but there are also men who are kind, generous, have real affections towards you, and you should be able to recognize the difference. Think about other things that matter. Think about when they say I'm scared to use this word, but when they say what do you bring to the table, think about if somebody asks you that question, how you would answer. If you want somebody to treat you like a queen, you have to also treat them like a king, and vice versa. So let's always do better. Just do better.
Alright, thank you. So we've come to the end of this episode, and just to add what I have to say to all the guys out there, you guys are trying, the ones that are footing the bills, no, you guys are trying, because sometimes I ask myself, where do you guys get money from? You have to spend money on yourself, you spend on family, you spend on girls. Yes, you guys are trying. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, and share your comments down below. Thank you.